What's up, everyone? We're live. Very excited tonight. Been talking to Andrew Thiele for a long time throughout the projects. Tonight, he's joining us on the stream. So, welcome, man.
Well, thanks for having me. It's
Uh,
been quite a while, right? I think the first time we kind of spoke was when my Jeter and your McGuire dropped together, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it was
That
like
was a solid pair, man. That was a good pairing.
it was really good because I don't know if at the time they curated it the way they are right now. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
right now I can't lie. Like all the cars next to each other, they're pretty spot on. They did a
Yep.
really good job by that. So it was back then, especially when I was paired with you, I was excited.
Yeah.
Not to say
Yeah.
anyone else, but I was like, oh, because it was just a good match and it felt good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the time, I don't think that we were just getting familiar with everyone's work, right?
Right.
So it was funny because it's like then you started seeing, now it's like everyone, right? But at the
Yeah.
time, it was like who's this person, who's that person,
Yeah.
and then you start seeing the consistency and throughout, which has been a really cool process.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been really fun watching everyone's work evolve.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's cool, man. Are you?
Did it change your process at all?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing that's changed the process is like engaging with the fans in the community. I try to make it a little bit crowdsourced. So oftentimes,
Okay.
like I'll do like 2 or 3 versions of one player, and then
Yeah.
I'll let the fans pick.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's fun. And then also like sometimes with the coloring or like the background or whatever, I'll try and involve them. So I think that's impacted the art itself. And then, I mean, personally, I think that every artist is like continuously stepping up their game and like making cooler and cooler cards. And so like I feel like I'm only competing with myself, and I always want to make my next card better than my last card. But I do think that like seeing what the other artists are doing in terms of like pushing boundaries is inspiring to me to like try new stuff.
Yeah, definitely, and it's well put about that. Like I definitely on my end, I always try to push it. Sometimes actually a little bit too much, because actually the two cards that people didn't get the best response from were ones that I probably reworked too much. But you know what it is? It's like as an artist, we're also kind of looking to get better at what we're doing, right? So
Right.
even like this stuff like the Bob Gibson face, which was like very clear, and even the last one with Cal, I was like, you know how long it takes me to like smooth, to get this to
Yeah.
I mean, and probably the first renditions were probably better. They're probably more unique to my style of kind of what I do. But each one I'm trying to like from a storytelling aspect as well as like a technical aspect of making sure that because you start getting deep into things like like even your stencil, looking at your stuff because I really pay attention to like the stuff. And it was funny because sometimes you use the same technique on one versus the other, but sometimes it looks like the good and came out so clean,
Thank you.
and it's like so you always look back and say, okay, well, what can I do better? How does
Yeah.
this look small? So you're always
Yeah.
I'm really always like I really love what I do, and I feel like it's an honor to be here.
Totally.
And we have an obligation to give people our best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes though, like sometimes I think we also got to know, sometimes when it works, right?
Yeah.
But
Totally.
I never like to see an artist like sometimes there's some artists that I really liked and respected, and it's like you get hired from a brand project and like, yeah, man, you give me the same shit you did,
Yeah.
I like when somebody pushes themselves, you know what I mean, and you can
Totally.
see it, so.
Totally. Yeah, man. So are you did you collect cards, or were you involved in that like sports or cards at all before Project 2020, or kind of into it through
Yeah, when I
this?
was a kid, so when I was
Yeah.
like super young,
Yeah, Steve.
so it's funny because like Ken Griffey card, right? It changed a lot, but and I try to think back at the time of because it was right then. It was like '89. I was 9 years old, you know, and my mother got so upset at me because in an interview I said something about it was true. We didn't go to any games, and
Right.
we didn't have extra money for stuff. But then I said to her, I said, that the only thing she kept in mind was my baseball cards. And the reason why I said that is because I think that she thought that they were going to be like some, you know what I mean, like some sort of. And looking back at it, because I do have my cards here, it's like a joke. The names of the cards, like, and I remember like, getting like $1 on a weekend. And you're like, okay, we get these cards.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you didn't get anything you like, but.
Yeah, that's cool. You're located, you're in New York, right? You're in Brooklyn?
No, Manhattan.
Oh, in Manhattan. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And are you, are you at the studio?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, you work late?
Oh, I'm a late guy. Tonight I have a curfew. Every other day I get a curfew from the wife, but I can't.
Yeah.
Also when I'm here, it's like I kind of like to lock myself away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, because that's another thing, and that's what I like to talk to artists about is like scheduling, and how ideas kind of like flow. And I need to have like a day or two where I like to work like a fireman, like, you know what I mean? Like those 24 hours, like I'm here. Yeah. I like to like, because sometimes it's a waste of time, but I like to see where an idea takes me. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's a big waste of time. And other times, you really strike upon something. But when I gotta like come in on a schedule, like a super strict schedule, all I could really do is execute. And some days that's good, but I need to get lost, into again about pushing it, right? Like, finding that idea and traveling, kind of with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm the same way. I mean, I like to work at night. I love it because like during the day, there's so many distractions. Phone, social media, email, all kinds of shit. And in the middle of the night, nobody's bothering me at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So I like that too. I'm the same way. My studio's in Long Island City. I had an apartment in Manhattan. That lease literally just ended yesterday. So I was at 28th and 2nd, Kips Bay.
Yeah. It's a battle, man. Of like this, what you're paying for rent in Manhattan and what you're paying for at this point in time is the total opposite of where everyone's at. You know what I mean? So you wanted the location, to meet up with people and, ideally be a hub and have that Manhattan location. And I've been here forever, man. I've been here for almost 20 years,
Wow.
So yeah, I got my, I got my first, the studio here in this building. I was a kid. I didn't have a bank account. I didn't have anything. I had $7,000, some army fatigue shorts, and they said to me the exact words. They said, you gotta pay 6 months because you don't have anything. So they thought he was gonna like deter me.
Yeah.
I said, okay, no problem. Be back tomorrow.
And
that's where it was. And think about it. That was 2002.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. Then you hopefully have like now, like in today's market, like probably a pretty good price in terms of rent.
No, because when you change in the lease, you would think that it stays at a certain thing, but 2006-07, I kind of went to 22nd Street for like 2-3 years, and then
got it.
It's funny, but I'm seeing what people are paying, for the leases, and it's the same. We're at the same place. So you would think that increase is. I think now it's going to change things, and I got to see like combining this and the idea. Like I guess I got to convert to the suburban life and get everything in one place. But the amount of money you're paying for this and a Manhattan apartment and a Manhattan studio doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, especially now with everything that's going on, like that's why my lease ended at my apartment, and I haven't re-upped for a new one because it just doesn't.
Where you headed right now?
So a friend of mine, an employee and friend, has an extra bedroom. So I'm staying with him right now. His lease goes until December, but we're actually looking at potentially moving to Las Vegas.
Oh wow!
Which you can.
Because you're from.
I'm from California.
Yeah. Okay.
So definitely, like being closer to home is like probably is my number one priority. Number one perk there. You can get a lot of house and a lot of land in Vegas for relatively cheap. So it'd be a situation where I'd hopefully be buying a house that would have a dedicated studio area and have it all in one building instead of, having a separate house.
On that note, your thought of moving here, to New York, obviously have some dreams and aspirations, and there's a window of opportunity, and sometimes you kind of do all you can. You think
Yeah.
you think like you did all you can with it, and it's time to like kind of keep it moving.
Yeah, I think that like living in New York is something I've always wanted to do for as long as I can remember. I've been here 2 years. It was a great experience. I met a lot of awesome people. Got to see a lot of parts of the city. But like at this point in my art career, like I'm posted up in my studio all the time. I know that like you have a wife and a pretty new baby, right?
Yeah.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't have that yet. Like I'm married to the art right now, and I'm in grind mode, and so like I don't ever leave the studio if I don't have to.
Yeah, me either. And it's like it's funny because I'm like a hermit hibernating in the middle of everything. So that's another reason why. And if you think about like I'm very inspired by like the old, I love the old New York movement, like the abstract expressionists and all that stuff. And most of them they had they had some stuff outside of the city as well. Because again, sometimes also it's I went through the stage of going out everywhere and being everywhere at one time, and now it's like that's all I'm about is just coming here and just working. So therefore it doesn't matter, right? And we can connect online now. It doesn't matter like where anyone kind of is, like,
Right.
so right. And that's what the pandemic also showed us, like what is it really, working at an office doesn't matter, you know what I mean, like a lot of mottos just got kind of thrown out the window.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man, but it's fun, man. I had a great time in New York. I have a lot of friends here. I think that if I do move to Vegas, I'll still come back and visit every so often. But it just doesn't really make sense to me to like pay studio rent, pay apartment rent, and whereas in Vegas I could be like building for the future and buying something, which would be it'd be cool.
So and also outside of the strip and all that, properties at a good value.
Exactly. Yeah, we're looking definitely off strip. And there's a pretty cool arts district that's seems like it has some potential. I went out there last month with Andy, my accountant, and we were looking at some properties and we walked around the arts district and it was really cool.
Yeah, but not for nothing, like doing what you do, like like especially like focusing on the portraits and stuff. And I know like before, even you focusing on the NFL athletes and stuff like that.
Yep.
You going to Vegas and say, for instance, you're meeting someone at the the Hard Rock or any one of those hotels. They have residencies with these different people coming in and being able to partner with them and give them there's some opportunities for you to do what you're doing alongst the pop celebrity kind of culture.
Totally.
Just rock out doing the same thing you're doing, just a different avenue. And I think that would really work as well.
Yeah, it's crazy actually. It was it's been like 3-4 years ago now. I was actually in Las Vegas delivering art to a client, and I met this guy who is an NFL agent, and he's the one that like basically got me into sports portraits and kind of helped me get my foot in the door. And like that happened at a random concert in Las Vegas, and so there's definitely opportunities there. And also, it's cool like being close to an international airport's good. Once we can again, I would like to do some more traveling.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, so we'll see. I mean, it's good because I'm in a situation now where like renting a room for my friend Andrew is A, like very affordable, and B, like I'm not tied into a lease. So like if I'm when we're ready to jet, I have a lot to I mean it'll be
what, you like you said, I love that saying, because you said it's funny you said you're married with kids. I never knew even what my destiny was going to be, and I always I actually kind of always looked like the lonely old artist that I have, like like every single time there's like an old documentary of like this old man just married to his craft and going to work every day. I don't know why I have like this old romantic love for so I'm with you on that. And honestly, I think also what other people don't understand is like as artists we're very fulfilled through our craft. You know what I mean? So a lot of times people have a lot of like you're yearning for other things. When you really do what you love, like it's very rewarding. You know what I mean?
It doesn't feel like work either.
I mean, listen, people, I'm here all the time, but I don't like when people say you're the hardest working man I know. So listen, I don't. Yeah. I'm here a lot, but what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at Don Mattingly. I'm painting baseballs. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not. It's a great thing. So even when I speak to kids and stuff like that, or anything about like, I don't even like to talk about my art. Is more about finding that, right? I think how
Yeah.
important is that? Like finding
Yeah.
that thing that you love to do. You know?
Absolutely, man.
You always because you said you were in marketing, right? Before
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I worked in marketing until I was 30. It was 30th birthday. I decided to quit the corporate world.
it's cool. You took that with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, it's good because I mean, I wouldn't change anything. I didn't go to art school. I studied economics, didn't really apply myself in college. And then fortunately, social media marketing and digital marketing was really blowing up when I graduated. And so I was able to kind of get in there. And like that experience is to me like almost more valuable than art school, because like I think that the marketing and branding side of things is something that a lot of artists struggle with. And for me, I kind of had that already, and then I just had to play catch up and like teach myself how to paint. And so I did like a lot of YouTube and a lot of trial and error, and just finally kind of developed and found my style and found my niche. And so it's been awesome, man. Can't tell if you can hear me. Oh, you're muted right now. Let's see here. Oh, he's gone. I think he's having some audio issues. He'll be right back. I'm gonna grab something. I actually have a box of one of his companion cards. I'm gonna grab. One sec. All right, he's back.
Yeah, somebody
All right.
somebody called me, and then I tried to like decline it, and then all of a sudden it went like silent.
All good.
So
Welcome back.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I think that the marketing experience has helped my art career more than like going to art school would have helped my art career, because I think
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
And you're really good at it. You're like the Gary Vee of the 2020 crew.
Thanks, man.
I can see.
I
And
try.
then when you deal with connecting to your audience, and then you really honed in on the niche of like the athletes and the portraits, and you're doing, and they say a millennial world, all the things you're supposed to be doing of maximizing your exposure and your and connecting to and people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I appreciate you saying that. It's crazy because like I feel like there's so much more I know I could do, and I feel like I'm not doing enough. I know that there's only so many hours in the day, and at the end of the day, I want to spend most of my time painting and creating. So
that's what I battle with, is just getting lost with because I mean that's where I'm at. That's why I kind of need a manager and everything. I just want to work on the art. Everything else kind of just gets lost. It's needed. You know what I mean? And it's very it's very important. What are one of those things that you wanted to do or aim to do that you just haven't done yet on that note?
Well, I think that there's a lot of channels that could be big. So, for example, I think that Reddit would be a very good sales channel to promote Project 2020. I know that there's a lot of baseball talk and a lot of like niche subjects there. I haven't even touched it.
Yeah, so let me ask you a question. So, because you were really good at like even analyzing, understanding that market, right? So, out of all the the collectors, right? At this point in time, if you're collecting of baseball cards in that world, right? Either you like the 2020 project or you don't, right? Like you could be like, an authentic, because I'm a sneaker guy, and at one point I was like only liked, I never liked customized sneakers, so maybe there's like those guys are card collecting, and then you have the people who like it. So do you think though, outside of that core community of of card collectors, that there is a few people that walk in, or do you think there's more people in the car community that you just haven't reached out to yet?
Oh man, well, I think it's both, man. I think the car community is so big, and like even if you just look at print runs, even when print runs were huge, like even when print runs were like peaking, and like print runs from like 50 to 100K, like every card was doing that. If you look at like the grand scope of like people that collect cards, that's still such a small number. Like that's like probably less than 0.1%. I mean, it's a tiny, tiny percentage of people that are like that collect cards in some way. And like you said, like there's some guys that are probably purists that don't want a remixed rookie card. They just want the original vintage rookie card, graded PSA 10, and that's it. And that's fine. I don't need to like. I don't think that. I think it's an uphill battle trying to convince people that Project 2020 is worth paying attention to.
Yeah, I don't really.
They already know about it and don't care about it. You know, that's okay. Good for them. But I think that there's still just a lot of people that are not really aware of what's going on. And I also think that, and this is pure speculation, and also like I'm always bullish on my own stuff and I hype my own stuff and I'm always believe in myself. But like, I think that people are going to look back on this set in 5-10 years and it's going to be it's going to be a big deal. You know,
it's a really awesome, it's an awesome project. You know what I mean? It really is. And you're right. Like looking back at this period in time, it's just like,
yep.
You know, it's so if you're gonna give the one-on-one, like a 101 to you know, marketing for artists within the program.
Yeah.
What are some things, even like some advice, you know, of stepping outside the normal, put out your card on your own social media, hit the Discord or this. Like, what are some other things that you think you could be, you know, artists could be doing?
Yeah. Well, I think the misconception with digital marketing is that like there's the right answer of what everyone should do is like one set of things. Like you should do this on these platforms. I think it's different per person. And mostly like I recommend people just get more involved in whichever platforms they actually enjoy using. So like, for example, like TikTok, great example of a great platform that's growing fast, could be really good to build my audience. But like, I don't do TikTok. I just don't, it doesn't like, I don't know. It's cool, but I just don't, I don't know. I don't enjoy it. And so like, I don't put my time there versus something like Twitter. I've used Twitter a long time. Like I just love Twitter's kind of open communication platform where like, you know, if someone posts on Instagram about something and then you come in the comments and you like jump in the conversation, people might look at it as like kind of hijacking their post. Twitter's different where like, it's just an open conversation. So if people are talking about baseball cards, I can jump in it very organically. And it's not like I'm hijacking the conversation. It's just like I'm joining the conversation. I think Twitter is a huge, huge opportunity because
you know, it's funny. I feel like Twitter made like a reemergence almost because when I was first on Twitter, you know, I was before Instagram, and I just, you know, just let it sit. And then, you know, now it's like more than ever, I feel like, you know, and it's probably like it's probably something I got to go back to, you know. And it's,
I love it.
Just getting, you know, just getting, into the conversation. But once you like the rhythm of it, you know what I mean. You really,
The other thing that I like doing is like trying to go places where other artists, quote unquote, the competition, which I don't really think any artist is competition, but I like to go where artists are not really hanging out. So like LinkedIn is a good example. I use LinkedIn a lot and I sell a decent amount of work through LinkedIn, commissions, prints, promoting cards. And it's because like I cut through all the noise. Like there's very few artists that are posting their work consistently.
Yeah.
So
Timothy Ferris once said, he said, you know, it's the hardest place to sell. Actually, Seth Godin said it. The hardest place to sell a book is a bookstore.
Sure, of course, yeah.
So you're definitely right. And again, you know, what I like also about what we're doing too. It's not like we're selling something. You know, we have a product that people enjoy getting those cards. You know,
totally.
And that makes everything kind of worth it, right? Like, you know, you're giving them something that they enjoy, and it's like it's a mutual, rewarding experience.
Totally, man. And I think it's cool too. Like, I mean, I don't know what you were expecting coming into this project, but I had no idea it was going to be as big and cool as it is. So like companion cards, for example, had never even crossed my mind before the project. I still haven't done any. I have one of yours here, which by the way is gorgeous. But like,
I got a couple presents coming your way in the next.
That's awesome, bro. I mean, look at like just for people who haven't seen this, it is such a cool box. It's like a nice matte, like heavy, thick paper. Got your logo right there on the box. I just think you crushed it with the presentation, which is so important. I love that. Inside, we have the card itself. There we go. And so this was the New York one. Which
Yeah,
one?
that
Yeah,
was the first one.
cool.
So
And oops, that's the back.
yeah,
I love this too. How it, like it's got the wood texture. I mean,
yeah.
you killed it,
I mean,
man.
if it was up to
Beautiful.
me, I would just go broke spending all my money on just. I would go the extra mile and all that stuff. The
It's
problem
great.
is just with the COVID stuff is just that everyone's backed up. You know,
Yeah,
that's the problem of
yeah,
of that. But everything was premium. From the
really
car
is.
to the
Yeah,
even the number system on it, like so. And
yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't
I
wait.
see it like foil stamped
Yeah,
for the numbers. It's gorgeous, man.
and I have some. When I tell you, I have a lineup of great things I'm working on within that space, and then the packages.
Yeah,
Because again, man, I feel that it's an honor to be here, and
of course.
it's really just putting your best foot forward. So when I was even doing the initial the initial research on the project, I would find like all these old baseball artists, and I was like, their art didn't matter who was on the card because their art was that dope. It
Hmm.
didn't matter. Like Ricky Henderson's not selling me wanting that. You know,
Right, right.
like they could pay like the Negro leagues are so or even the old like going to the old baseball stuff from from the 1920s. Like I don't know any of those guys, but the art was so great,
Yeah.
and that's what I wanted to kind of push with quote unquote the companion card with
Mhm.
somebody because at first I was like, well, what should I do and then I unlocked the ideas, and now it's like I have a lineup. I have actually too many that I want to do, what I mean, but I you know
That's
I, I
awesome.
gotta I gotta narrow it down.
Yeah. So, are you doing a companion card with all 20?
No, not all 20. Just when people make sense,
Okay.
So if I want to give you a lineup, I don't know. Should I do like a sneak peek here?
Yeah. That would
Yeah.
be awesome. Absolutely. If you're comfortable with it, I think they would love
I'm
it.
comfortable. You know why? Because I was gonna send something your way, and then when my sister's not here this week, and then time just got, But I have three like kind of big things that I'm kind of working on, and you'll see little by little. I have a collaboration coming out. I have,
Nice.
so but my next the next companion card is going to be LA, so that's probably not going to drop until after this. And then for each one of I'm not going to do one of those cards for each one to drop, but I am going to do something.
Hmm.
So I come from I don't like to use the term like streetwear and all those other, but that's my lane, like of
Hmm.
just of just knowing how to like how to roll things out in a sense of not marketing wise, making something really dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going all out. Like I never knew or understood what the value of the silver or gold and all that, like in terms of the signage was. So I
Hmm.
always said, hey, if you're gonna spend this money, I want to make sure you feel like you're getting that money,
Totally.
right? So at first I was doing the gold balls
Yeah. I
and
like the
that, and then
balls. You did the bats, right? The
and
little
then
bat with the
the,
trout.
the fucking meteor bats. But now, uh, you know, so I'm gonna show you for the first time. I never.
Awesome.
So I was, and by the
Love it.
way, one's coming to your office.
Awesome.
So
Love
but
it.
check this out, right? So obviously Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
I mean, check this out.
Wow. Yes, dude. Oh my God, that's so cool,
But look at this. I did the stickers. I did the French fries.
dude.
But hold on. But check this out. Ready? I don't have the burger here. Hold on. Oh, okay. I got a burger here. Ready? Sorry,
Yeah,
I wasn't ready for this.
that's okay. Oh my God, I love it.
So you go in and then you open it up. Hold on, you ready?
Yep.
So you open it up.
Wow, dude.
But hold on, but look at it. You see the A?
Wow. Yes.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. The Cardinals. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's insane.
So
And
yeah,
what
so
are
it's gonna
what
be
are the are they like? Is that like pieces of? Is it wood? Is it paper?
no. I mean, I literally you see, painted everything.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
have like a whole assembly line of those in here. I'm gonna shoot
Yeah.
a little commercial for it, hopefully by
Wow.
this weekend. And
Dude, that's amazing.
I even got a super size. But
That's
you know the
amazing.
super size,
Yeah.
that's gonna be
Yeah.
so yeah,
Dude,
that's what I've been doing. I've been
everyone, by
painting.
the way, in the comments, everyone is freaking out. Everyone loves this.
Yeah, so I mean that
Okay.
I'm like I want when you get it, I want you to like so I'm really building these sets for everything. So like
Yeah.
that's coming out,
Wow.
and it comes with a whole. I got to work out the packages, the whole Happy Meal. And again, I have a super sized one that's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. When I tell you it's crazy, it's crazy. These aren't done yet, but I have it signed Mattingly's.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, these are on wood. It's just giant.
Yeah.
Before you call today, I was doing
Gorgeous.
all the balls.
Nice. Those are
Yeah,
Donnie balls.
yeah, Donnie baseballs.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
but
Wow.
yeah, now I have for each person, if it's not going to be like a heritage card, I'm going to
Right.
roll out like some sort of. I want to start doing some merch packs, you know,
Yeah.
and just different things for each one of these people. I spent majority of my career just giving that to everyone else.
Hmm.
This is a time that I want to hone in on the concept for each,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
obviously the stipulations with the with the likeness and stuff of some stuff that we could really do and what we can't do, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to push it as much as possible,
Yeah.
for each. So
Man, that's incredible, dude. I love
oh,
it.
I have like I'm gonna tell you, I have yeah, I have a like a ill, even for the what do you call it, for the heritage. I have like a good lineup of solid like what it is. I get excited. You see how my face lit up? Like I
Yeah.
get excited about ideas.
Yeah.
So I need to feel excited, like oh, we could do this. Like that's
Yeah.
that's what kind of gets me
Yeah.
excited every
That's
day.
awesome. So
You know.
how I'm really curious. So like from a execution standpoint, like how are you creating that stuff? Are you is it like cutting out of wood? Are you using like a Dremel? Are
I
you
mean,
like is
that's
it
what I mean. Like
3D
everything's
printed?
different,
Like
right?
yeah.
Everything's different, and then what I always have to do is kind of like put the cost and time next to each other almost.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And say like, how do you do this? Like
Hmm.
so even with the Big Mac stuff, like I kind of
Hmm.
got these fake burgers to say, okay, well, how would these fake burgers look? Like, how
Right.
can we make these? Like, are we gonna do? Yeah, like you said, we could do foam core. We could do
Yeah.
wood.
Yeah.
Put
You
stencil
3D printing.
styrofoam.
Yeah.
So everything of that kind of stuff, I kind of just map out and say, how could I do this as much DIY as possible? And
Hmm.
then, not to say the problem, but you know, some people in the baseball card community, they're new to the art world in a certain aspect. So like sometimes, sometimes you get these like requests when you see something and it's like, it's art. Like, what does it
Hmm.
matter? It's fucking, you know what I mean? Like, like, so therefore, but is it clean fabrication or is it by hand? Like, I mean, for me, I would have done all these by kind of hand. But I'm like, well, if no one really cares about it, this is when also my team around me is like, Drew, just let go,
Hmm.
because I just get crazy over those little things of painting baseballs or making meteor bats, and you know what I
Hmm.
mean. And
Yeah.
it's and the value of it is this piece of art is by Blake's hand.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So,
That's
um,
awesome, man.
yeah, yeah. So,
That's rad. You know what? Something that really sticks out to me about your art is like it's got so much texture and depth.
hmm
I just love it, man. Like it just seems like it's just awesome. And I'd imagine like I've only seen your work obviously through like photos and videos and stuff online, but I got to imagine like in person it's just on a whole nother level because it really
yeah,
like I mean it's all 3D stuff basically.
yeah. I mean, everything's kind of different. You know. That's why when I was even doing like the cards, I was like, because I would have really shined, like, oh, we're gonna have a show. No, it's not gonna be a show. It's gonna be online. I'm like, oh, so it's not gonna be a show where it's gonna be 20. No, no, it's online.
Yeah.
I'm like, but okay, that's cool. They're selling the card, but what about the big piece? Where is
Yeah.
it? And then so the first ones were like, I kind of, wrapping my head around how do I get that, and then also going in and also saying like sometimes too, like that heritage part has so much detail, it's kind of hard for you to see that piece small. So
Hmm.
even going back and you look at the masters, right? The master painters, they were also masters of knowing what to keep very crisp and detail in the front and what to blur out and leave for assumption in the
Hmm.
back,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
But I just like to torture myself. So I'm like, well, somebody's gonna look at the back corner and the perspective is off. So you know what I mean? Like, so then you
Yeah.
start getting like, just lost in those little, those little things. But thank you, man, about the work,
Yeah.
and it's good to have an audience that actually appreciates it too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Absolutely. And speaking of audience, one of the guys, Mike Roble, asked me to ask you about your book.
yeah.
Is it
Oh yeah.
yeah, what's the deal with that? I don't know anything about it.
No,
Mike
I had a it's over here somewhere. I have a book from my last show. But tell them to
Okay.
hit me up on a DM, and I have and
Cool.
basically I have a book for every period almost.
That's awesome.
So even now, like I have to, I don't mean sound like if I die, like you look back, there's gonna be books of, like it's something I like to catalog basically.
Hmm.
Like okay, well this is this is 2 years of work. So he's talking about this one, which is kind of
Okay.
work from 2016 to 18.
Okay.
So there's like there's works on paper,
It's
like
awesome.
this, yeah, there's and it's just broken down by all of
Yeah.
and
Dude,
also
that's cool.
sometimes some people said that I wasn't really that personal with my work. I'm like, well, I don't know how more personal I could get. I wrote, because I
Yeah.
really write an
Yeah.
in-depth thing on each. But
That's awesome. I see Brian Gonzalez is here. He says the book's so good. He and his wife are big fans of it.
oh, he's a great guy, and I have to thank you
It's awesome.
for introducing us, man. He's the
Yeah,
best.
he's the best. He's
Yeah.
great.
So
Super good heart too. Really, really good dude.
yeah,
What let's see. So you just had what was the one that was just out? Bob Gibson, right?
yeah,
That's the latest that was dropped. Which
yeah.
one is next? Or do you know or do you is that public?
Mariano Rivera.
Nice. It's awesome. That one was a challenge for me. It's just an interesting card to work with from the jump,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
yeah.
you know what it was? Is this I did that super early, and I have to just kind of open it up and revisit it.
Yeah.
Because what happened was before the COVID, I took all because I work very scattered. Like like if you give me 10 things, I'm working little. That's my like process. I don't really work start to finish on anything. I'm very scattered. That's what kind of works for me. So when I first got them, I just was working on like the portraits of everything, and then
Yep.
all of a sudden I had to digitize all this work. So then I had these fucking pieces here, super big, and now, I was like, damn, I can't go to the studio anymore. I had to go take the picture of everything, and then
Hmm.
get a Wacom for the apartment, right?
Hmm.
Um, so I have that from an earlier stage, and that was one of the first pieces in reality that I started introducing more storytelling, with it,
Hmm.
because the picture was so weak and needed more to it,
Yeah.
So I did that I did that before Jeter, and it was the same thing, like it was the same feeling of, like, and that's what I wanted. I really like to try to embody the player as much as possible. It's
Totally.
not just, hey, this is the rookie card, but this is everything.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
so and I find these little things that are fun, right? So like Bob Gibson, he's a Harley Globetrotter, like, so I love those posters, right? So
Hmm.
I saw these posters like, dang, that's fucking. I mean, who else is a Harlem? The Jay-Z line, "Legend, two games," like Pee Wee Kirkland. Like, so it's like you're playing two sports. I mean, I thought it
Right.
was just pretty dope, and then
Yeah.
I find inspiration off that, and I try to like add to it. But yeah, Mariano was hard because his stance. A lot of those rookie guys, Jeter included, they look weak and fragile. They they also didn't capture you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like like the picture is hard to
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Yeah. It's a tough one. Yeah, I'm trying to think. My next one is Sandy Koufax,
yeah,
and then George Brett.
yeah.
So it should be good. I've been like pretty much. I'm just doing them as just right, before they're due. I
Yeah,
did do. Let's see, what did I do early? I did Ken Griffey early, but then I ended up coming and doing him again.
but that's where I am on everything. You know, I
Yeah.
did the Ken Griffey was the first card I did. But again, Ken Griffey, I did it to say, "Hi, my name is Andrew Thiele. This is what I do."
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like this is
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's this collage style, layered. You know,
Yeah.
that's when I have the big piece
Yeah.
of like this is what I do.
Yeah.
Like that and
Well,
Willie were, and then it was just like, you know, yeah. Then little by little, like when I did something for Nolan Ryan and I put like a little fight on the sleeve, and then
yeah.
they liked it. I was like, oh, you like these little tidbits.
Yeah.
And I started like to really,
Yeah.
get more involved, and then but not everything was like Jeter for me too, where it's like, you have this golden kind of like, extra high, like, but
Mhm.
each one of these players are royalty, right? It's
Totally.
just like pictures don't give you, but that's our job really, right? It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
what it is like. It will be your photos. I mean, your process. You could do the same thing to one or the other, and what you're doing from a technical standpoint and our standpoint is 100% on point.
Right.
But it just doesn't translate the emotion because
Right.
in reality. So that's why people got mad at even Cal Ripken and changed his face. His face was boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's another one who's like more like I want some like like posture like or like
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
emphasis.
More emotion or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even like Mariano Rivera. So first thing I did was fucking give him a wardrobe change.
Nice.
So
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Okay, I had a good question from Krista, which I don't know either. So Krista asked, did you study art uh, in school, and who are your mentors and idols in the art world?
well, I went to like a typical kind of community college kind of thing, but I wound up I mean I've been here I just turned 40. I've been here since 2002.
Mm-hmm.
So I was I got very influenced by hip hop and graffiti. A lot of my
Mm-hmm.
friends that's they were very deep in those worlds, and from there I was able to I mean I was doing my own barbershop flyers for a haircut at 15. You know,
Wow.
but know, translating that like to as like okay, you start getting older. It's like what am I supposed to do? And then I got really into design. Got so
Mm-hmm.
going out all the time, going to all the clubs and stuff like that. So it's like I could do the flyer and
Yeah.
the flyer. So I got really really into I guess that, and then art was always on the side, and then it was it's a I wish I could tell you I have like these list of. I have a bunch of fake friends. What I say when I say fake friends, meaning that the people that I know and the realm of people that I know were no one was that person pushing me. I would watch documentaries on these artists, and I would study. I really studied art like for myself. Like I gave myself my own master's degree in it because it's something that I love. So tracing backwards from 90s graffiti to understanding, the Basquiat's, Warhols, and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and then going in and saying, well, what do you really kind of like, and then finding, you know, each period of art, and then who were the leaders and on, and how that kind of moved you, and and that's what you really kind of do. You just kind of like move around until you find what's really yours, and then well, hold on, let me you move around till you find what's right, and then you start like dabbling in it, and it's like, oh, that's great, but that's theirs,
Right.
you know. And then eventually you come into your own, you know.
Mm.
And I could say I hit my stride with that. So
Totally.
at a 20-year career, like no, I only in the past, and this is me being like modest. Like everyone else would come from the jump and say, but it's funny because I did this timetable on my on my website, like the year, like think about years and time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I work 50 to 80. Like I'm here 50 to 80 hours a week. Like
Mm-hmm.
on the low level.
Yeah, bro.
I'm not
I know.
stressed.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
just like, so you take care of what you need to get take care of, right? And then, like I said about exploring, so going in and thinking about like how you find your stencil machine. I said stencil machine. How do you find the stenciling? Do you want to work with a machine? Is it better by hand? Should you do it by hand like this? It's like so many different ways of exploring materials, and and that's why everything was so textured, and
Yeah.
everything was a departure from my computer work, right? So I was spend so much time really wanting to craft things, and getting excited how do you really make these things. And going back to our initial conversation about you marketing, right, was like all those things kind of brought you to a place where, oh, I can make Mike Trout, I can make the bat look like a meteor. And it's like, how do you
Right.
do that? I'm like,
Yeah.
that's nothing. Like that's what that's what
That's awesome.
or cutting this out. That's because there's so many hours in the other way of just trial and error, and and then now we're able to apply what we're doing. So
Yeah.
sorry for the long answer, but
It's all good.
I wish I had somebody like here's you. Did you have any art mentors?
Not, I mean, not like hands-on mentors. I mean, I think that like in terms of like my style and execution, I think Shepard Fairey was the biggest influence on
Yeah.
the way that I paint. I love Basquiat. I love Warhol, especially from a brand building standpoint. Definitely, but there wasn't any like artists that I like met in real life that like kind of took me under their wing that was like, yo, I'm
And
gonna
it's
teach you
weird.
house.
It's like, and that's why I appreciate you, honestly, from my heart. I appreciate you, like of you reaching out and you doing that. I live in a very jaded, like New York is a very jaded place. Like
Yeah.
from just the energy you give, it's like my friend told me something like an analogy of like it's like the cousin theory, because everyone's cousin does something. A word
Yeah.
you paint, yeah, my cousin paints.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
okay, oh, you rap, like everyone, like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you're
Everyone's
never
got a
supposed to,
cousin that does everything.
or their man, or somebody, or
Yeah.
oh, oh, I'm a fashion designer. Like everyone does, so you never really give anyone their kudos, and you're
Yeah.
always kind of like, I never been like that. I always like to give the pats on the back, but you go out and it's like, it's true. You meet an artist like, I make art. I make art too.
Yeah.
People don't know it's a very isolated sport.
Right.
It's what we do here, and very either Abdul, like he seems like he has a good community of
Yeah.
like that, but like like Bushwick, mural,
Yeah.
like kind of like finding a good crowd of like you bouncing off stuff. But like me and you would be great like studio mates, like see you when I see you, and then we're
Yeah.
here and we don't talk to each other,
Yeah.
like that's because we're just
Yeah.
working on what we're doing. But it's like I
Yeah.
never been. Yeah, it's like we meet somebody out, I'm like, hey, I paint, and then it's like, okay, and
Yeah.
it's like this weird kind of.
For sure. Do you have, and this question was asked quite a bit earlier, I just remembered it because it was a good one. Is there like a kind of a favorite piece that you've ever done that you think like it could be your favorite for any reason, but like kind of encapsulates like what you think is like, I don't know, your style or your work or whatever? Is there a
Do
favorite?
you want me to be honest with you? No, because
Yeah.
I usually don't like anything that I do.
Really?
Yeah, eventually at the end I look back at it and I'm like, oh, that was good. But like each of the cards, I could look back and you know that was a task and that's what I did. But painterly, I remember going to like I love abstract things.
Me
That's
too.
what I mean, like, but I remember going to the MoMA and seeing the Kooning exhibition
Hmm.
and being floored, like emotionally, like and
Hmm.
I was like that as a kid looking at hand style, like when someone had an ill hand style was able to do something,
Hmm.
and then I would do something. I'm like, that's cool. But
Yeah.
maybe, but maybe, I don't know if you're supposed to get that emotion from it.
Hmm.
But I mean, when I put together a show, my shows are put together, you
Right.
know, to the
Well, I
T.
mean, I could tell, man, by all the care that you put even into this
Yeah,
or
but
the
everything I
burger
do
Big Mac, like
is
I can only imagine if you're if you're organizing a show, it would be a production,
So
man.
everything I do is good in terms of like looking back at it, like because I always feel like you need to give, you have to give everything all you got, and then afterwards, I did all I could do. That's all I can do, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sorry to sound like that, but
No, it's
for me to
all
go
good,
in
man.
and be like a piece.
You could pick a show if you want to pick a whole show. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is though. I guess I'm looking for that raw emotion that you're getting. It's like music. Sometimes certain artists, right? I compare everything to music a lot. They're doing everything right, but they just didn't grab my soul.
Sure.
Like I don't know what it is. Like you can't put your finger on it. Like a girl could be beautiful, but she's sexy, right? Like yeah, she has everything. She's beautiful, but it's fucking sexy. Like there's something about, So I guess I can't get that from my own pieces, but I know the feeling when, like the first time I went to a Shepard Fairey exhibit, I got that, like, and then after time, then you see like us talking about process. You see how refined, like he hasn't really done anything in a long time that because I mean I guess I don't know. I just haven't seen anything in a long time. But nothing against him, but I saw his work get better, his detail, on things like looking at the ocean ripples of his stencil. Like fuck, look at his fucking look at the flow of it. I guess even that, like the flow, like it has to be a certain like so. When I'm doing something, I can see the holes in my game, and I guess I'm insecure. So I'm like, fuck, see that little, like. And that's when I could get lost of just like of trying to to enhance and and rework and but I guess that's being an artist, right? That's what it is. It's always trying to push and do better and more.
With your so it sounds like at least at first you were working in a very large format for these cards. Do you ever feel like when it's printed this freaking small, like are you losing a little detail that you wish you could show people, or it's just kind of is what it is?
I mean that Bob Gibson, I'm mad. I don't know why I shrank the file down, before it went out, but it was. I mean, yeah, those are 18 by 24. So you see it. It's big and it's it's low around like you couldn't you can't really see the detail in it. But if I separate everything, you like oh shit, like it looks you know yeah, like that stuff. I think all my pieces you have to kind of see things to look, because if you saw this, you see a horse, right?
Yeah.
A polo horse.
Yeah.
It was a horse. So if it's got printed, this is what you're gonna see, a horse.
Sure.
But then you get it.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
So
Rad.
you're going in and you see a street.
Yeah.
Quick, but then you're going in and you gotta see the street.
Right.
So
yeah.
so
I
you're
think
only seeing that.
In talking to Tops, it sounds like they're actually open-minded to doing like art shows with the original art after the project.
Yeah.
So
I think
I think that would be awesome.
I think it would be super awesome. I don't know again though, like market is like because it took me a while to get started on the releases, but now it's like I have some like real gems that I think in the long run it's just gonna be dope to have or see. So hopefully. In reality, and I stopped taking a lot, a lot of, I'd rather work on my own stuff now. So before it's like, hey, do you mind coming to, my store? And I'm like, like I'm not really. So I hope, my idea is hopefully, number one, I want to do some cool shit for baseball, right? Like, so on some Nike shit, you're going to see, you're going to see that aspect of it. And also it's like, how do you, how do you reimagine or retell a Sandy Koufax? How do you like that Sandy Koufax release I have coming up? It's fucking crazy. And I tell you, it's crazy. Like that, I'm impressed by it.
That's great.
I'm not really impressed. And also I have a collaboration on it. So it's
a collab within Project 2020.
It's gonna be something.
That's
So
awesome, bro.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, I'm just hopefully everything, all the energy that we're putting out,
Yeah.
hopefully that we it translates out, out to the world. And in reality, it's a what I call the ultimate win. Everyone's winning, right? Like it's Tops is winning,
Mhm.
winning, the consumer's winning by getting something, so. And
Mhm.
those are the ideal projects that that we want to keep up.
Yeah.
So so what do you think the future, Tops is doing this, right? What do you
Yep.
think is going to be like? Do you think that they're going to want to bring this back, or what do you think that it's going to be?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they want to continue working with the artists in some capacity next year. Jeff's made it pretty clear. I had him on the stream one time that
Oh,
he
did he?
didn't. Yeah, he didn't. He doesn't. They're not going to do like Project 2021. But it does sound like for all the artists that are interested in continuing to work with Tops, which I don't know if that will be all of them or not, but there will be projects that they're going to try and tie us into. So I don't really know many details, but I did have a call with Jeff last week where it sounds like we're going to start figuring that out, kind of plans for 2021, 2022. So I'm super excited. I think like for me, like painting portraits of athletes has been my niche anyways, and like these Tops collab is like perfect fit for the brand and like exactly the direction I want to take it anyways. So I'm gonna try and milk this opportunity for as much as I can, and B, like if I can continue working with Tops for as long as possible, that's like definitely a
Yeah,
big priority for me.
yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is like when we first started, I didn't know, I didn't know what it was going to be, So my girl always says like, "Damn, you didn't even think nothing of this." And it's also again being jaded, Like I worked
Right.
on quote unquote big things, and it's just like, you know, it's and sometimes it just gets swept under the rug, and other times it gets, drawn out. That's why I'm just married to the idea. I'm married to the work itself.
Yeah.
Um, I try to like mentally remove the audience factor, right? Because then, because okay, so if you did a Mark McGuire painting and it got revealed at Oakland, Stadium, and then it's like it's fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
But then guess what? Monday you got to go back to work,
Mm-hmm.
and X, Y, and Z might need something. And
Mm-hmm.
then what happens when if you're just depending on that reaction? How do you get yourself excited about everything else? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to like give everything as much as much passion I have in terms of the product, and then
Mm-hmm.
what it does afterwards, it does afterwards. That's what I told myself. So I
Yeah.
didn't know what this was,
Yeah.
and then afterwards it was like, oh wow, like, and
It's crazy.
it's been the most rewarding thing I worked on.
I agree, man. I'm in the same. I mean, it's a life changing project for me
Yeah, yeah,
in a
and,
huge way.
and not for nothing. You're like the ambassador of like if you're gonna be if there's gonna be a coach like a Chuck Daly of the '92 Dream Team, are you a basketball guy at all?
No, no, but I
But
like
but, but,
where
but
you're
that's
going.
that's like if you were gonna be like the the team leader,
Yeah.
to rally people up and do things, I think it would be you.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I think it's been fun. I think that one of the things I didn't anticipate with the project, I should have now looking back, but like the relationships with the other artists and just getting to
Yeah,
like meet
yeah,
other people because I didn't have a ton of artist friends. I had like
yeah, yeah.
I've got a lot of artist friends that are hobby artists, which is nothing wrong with that. They want to come in and paint with me in the studio and kind of have me mentor them, and I'm happy to do it. But like, it's awesome to now have like some close friends that are professional
Yeah,
artists
I mean,
that just do
yeah.
this.
Think
Like,
about it. Like those are the people who actually open up, doors when they hear about something.
exactly.
And it's something also that I didn't have because I'm, you know, I didn't ideally come from that world. You could say,
Mhm.
So it's like when you meet people, it's funny because the guy who used to work here, he became a house DJ, and he always said like he said there's a difference in house music when you go out of the country, you meet someone, they say, oh, this is what I do, and then in New York it's like on the hip hop shit, everyone's like, honestly, like there's nobody embraces anyone, and it's the
Mhm.
same as art, but
Mhm.
this is like that thing of us, getting a chance to really. meet other people with open arms, and everyone's really really
Yeah.
cool. And that's been the first. I mean, listen, I have booths at Complex Con, sitting next to artists, not naming any, but that's your booth. That's dope. That shit's over there. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. And
Yeah.
it's just like this
Right.
weird kind of, you know, so it's good that people, the community
Yeah.
that that they came from. So
In terms of the other artists in the project, was there anyone when you can't right when it started? Were there artists that you had already followed or were familiar with?
yeah, uh
Cool.
well, cartoon's my idol.
Okay.
That's like hands down. Cartoon is like, the epitome of an artist in all aspects, and he's always been someone that we had some mutual people, but from the outside of just like from the
Mhm.
tattooing to his his I love typography and seeing like the old you know the fucking Snoop Dogg logos and all that stuff. Like that stuff is amazing. Grotesque is another one that I highly in the creative world look up to, in the sense of he was he in the downtown world, he knew my people at A Life. He zoomed off, he was a creative director there. And from there, he went to Nike. But
I don't know if you can hear me, but the audio is kind of cutting out. Your audio is acting whack.
there's some feedback.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's see here. I'm gonna fix it. I mute. Mute. Still there. Let's see here. 1 sec. Test. Maybe better. I don't know. It's like making a weird sound. It sounds like a gremlin or something. Oh, that sounds hilarious. Try leaving and just jumping back in real quick.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Try leaving and coming right back. Can you hear that? All right, let's see here. All right, hopefully we get it back. Oh man, I also just spilled almost the last of my Canada Dry. How you guys doing? Are you guys enjoying this? I'm having a blast. Yeah, Max is eating the wires exactly. All right. All right. We'll make sure that he's not texting me. All right. Hopefully it comes back. Yeah, Thiele collab would be awesome. I love that. I love that idea. What's up, Optimus, Octavio, Matthew, Chris, Jason, Donna? Excuse me. Let's see if we get him back here. Let's see if he messages me on Instagram. Man, Zoom stock. Whoever said that just really went nuts today. I didn't own any. Let's see here. Yeah, he's not on Instagram. All right. Well, I hope he comes back. Let's see here. Companion card collab. That could be cool. Yeah, man. So keep the questions coming, guys. I know I'm sorry I haven't gotten to ask all of them, but when I see ones that stand out to me, I do put it up here and I try to get get to them. So definitely keep those coming. Bum, bum. Yeah, so Mike, Core 4. So I'm in New York. Andrew's in New York. F.Dot's in New York. JK5 is in New York. Gregory, Sif, and Sophia are in SoCal. What stocks do I own? Right now, I have Tesla, Apple, and Lemonade. Those are the three that I'm in right now. My Tony Gwynn. I don't know when my Tony Gwynn is dropping. All I know is that next is Sandy Koufax, and then after that, that's one. Then after that is George Brett. What card am I looking forward to do next? All of them. So Sandy Koufax, because that is the next one. So that one will be cool. Good idea, Eric. Ben Baller and I have a dual autograph Trout card. We're giving away 4 of them total. I'm giving away 2, and he's giving away 2. The way that you enter is you buy either of our cards or both, and then you go to proathleteportraits.com/baller, and there's a form to fill out, and you get entries the more you buy, and then we're going to give out those cards. All right, Andrew's back. All right.
So, sorry, I logged on from the computer. So
great.
I think the phone is a way of saying, shut up, you talked enough.
That's awesome. I like it, man. Dope. Let's see where okay, so you were talking about other artists. So Cartoon and Grotesque are a couple of guys that you really looked up to before.
I knew their work, and then just during the course of time, I like every artist. I think everyone, everyone's good at their individual thing that they do, and
totally.
And I think they did a good job by getting a big variety, of people, and that's important, So
yeah, I think they did a great job curating like a very diverse group, and I think it was hard for people to understand after everyone just had one card. The set didn't look, it was just kind of all over the place. But once people started seeing like 2, 3, 4, 5 cards from each artist, and we really got to start to see the artist sets develop. Now it's like, it's great because every time a card drops, like everyone just knows who did it. And that's like, I think it's a really good job by Topps to like find people that are distinct enough that that's the case.
They did really well with that.
Yeah, I followed Gregory Sif. I'd followed for a long time. I love his work.
I really like his work. Knew him through this, but he's another real pure great artist.
Totally. And then King Saladin and I were in a group show together late last year with the 76ers.
Oh, nice.
So I'm familiar with his work, and I met him. He's yeah, and then it's great because it's like turned me on to so many more artists that now I follow and really love their work. Just it's great, man.
Yeah,
it's quite fun. Are there any cards of the ones that you have remaining that you're like looking forward to the most, or just kind of all of them?
No, I find weird ways. It's funny because you said George Brett, and I was like, damn, I wasn't excited about that card, but then. I also do my research in between things, and then I gave myself my own little theme, and now I'm excited about it. So each person, like I get those little things that I get like I try to get excited about. So I guess I can tell you the ones that I didn't really there's some that I wasn't really. Damn, what am I what am I inspired by from it? But I'm probably least excited about the ones that everyone's excited about, because anticipation level was like, what are you supposed to do compared to one versus the other, so. But.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, I haven't done Jeter yet. I know he's one of the popular ones, but I think that one will be fun. I think all of them will be cool. I like the old cards. The Ted, like the Ted Williams, the Koufax, the Clemente. I'm looking forward to a lot.
I love, I look forward to. I have a heritage card with Clemente is going to be really good. even that, like I said, the packaging of also of my autos and stuff like that. Like, because again, you're the king of the auto world. I just want to give people, like, I don't want people to come to me, I want, that's why I call it collector's club. I want to give people, that collective experience. And each person I have something like laid out mentally, of a good rollout for it. So besides the card, it's also like, how am I going to package that second, the second, the second collectors, item from it. And that's what I love, right? I loved when I was able, to get, a pair of sneakers that had something special in terms of the packaging, those little extra things, I'm having a lot of fun with. And I really, I did a lot, I've been super busy working on that stuff. So it's like when I'm more quiet online, that's probably because I'm more working on stuff that you can't really see.
Yeah, you're in the zone.
And I have like a month, like all my releases from here on out, like in terms of that, they have like everything's special. Yeah, and I think I just hope everyone's also like I know the numbers fizzled out, but I hope everyone's enthusiasm, on the audience platform is also excited about what we're doing, because in reality we thrive off that that energy, and we give a lot, so hopefully that also, it's been what, 6 months, only 6 more months. So
it's been a wild ride. I think that the last maybe 50 to 75 cards, I think that it's going to pick up steam. I think that I hope that people are coming into the set and starting to realize how cool the whole set's going to be. And then if those people at the end realize, oh no, I need to start filling all my gaps of all my early cards to get to play catch up. I'm hoping that helps the secondary market. I mean, I don't really care about the secondary market that much, because I want to buy them from Tops. Like I don't want people to have to go and buy my card on eBay. I want them to buy it from Tops and support me and whatever. And then I'm buying my own cards from Tops. I'm not buying them on the secondary market, so it doesn't really affect me that much. But I do know that like there's hobbyists, people in the hobby that are collectors that just buy things that they like, and then there's definitely a big segment of it. There are people that are buying to invest and they want to flip. And to keep those people interested, I think that having secondary market prices that are at least slightly over, the cost of the card on Tops helps keep those people interested. Because, as we saw with some of these print runs that went nuts, there's a lot of cards you can get.
Do you think though that extra love you put into, like what I'm doing with those packages, do you think the collectors are the collectors of the card and that stuff doesn't steer people? Or when you build an experience, it really goes a long way?
I think it'll attract both, honestly. I think the collectors will really appreciate it. And I think that the flippers will also like stuff like that, because I don't know. For example, like I sold fanny packs. I don't know if you saw that a while back. I did a fanny pack with like my art printed on it, and then I stuffed it with cards that I had splatter painted on. And they weren't cheap. They were $200. And a lot of them sold because it was when the peak was happening. And then, some people were disappointed that they couldn't like flip the fanny pack. I'm like, dude, why are you buying a fanny pack for an investment?
Yes, I mean, I don't know,
collector thing.
I don't know what that is, but I do know that, again, when I first even like was buying toys with the cause, the toys, like, it was like, what are you really getting? I'm like that with everything that I spend money on. That's what I want to give people. And I know I said it once and I say it again. I like to, it's the value of what, of what you're getting. You go to a collection store, right? And there's a signed one, but you sign, and then you have like these other goodies around it. It's an experience. You know what I mean? And it's very rarely that I look forward to a FedEx guy coming. But there's certain things when I buy. Like, I'm very big on like art books, and but I like to buy like little a signed letter and the fan notices. It's an experience. It makes your week, it brightens your day, and that's what I'm hoping that to get in on. I just feel like I'm a little late because I only did 3 signed releases. Or
Are you gonna do autos on the rest of your cards, or just
yeah,
kind of?
yeah, yeah, 100%. I have not even autos in that spot. I have experiences. Just say like I have that and everything. And the reason why I waited because they were so backed up with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like to also wait on things that I buy. I like to get it kind of right away. So I kind of now we're in a good speed. It's gonna matter. Of getting stuff out. So now I gotta put the pedal to the metal and find a good synchronized system to put those out. So the next probably starting next week is probably going to be week after week of just or maybe bi-weekly. I don't know how much room in between. And again, even with the heritage stuff, I only do the heritage when it fits,
Right.
or I'm really, really excited about something where it touches a certain standpoint.
I thought that Father's Day card you did was really cool.
I mean, so you can think about it, right? Like Don Mattingly came out right by Fathers, right? So you can see the packages. My real thing didn't get approved, so I did like a regular Don, the regular Don, card. I can actually just send it to you. That was done early. It was nice. It was very New York, I mean, Don Mattingly was Mark McGuire is to you, is to me. But that's like, like my family, like, what about Don Mattingly? Everyone's asking about, so the first one paid him tribute like that. And then the second one, I was just like, you know what? Like, that's cool. And that's when the Don idea came from, because it was the Hitman poster and the Don. And the Don was him, is supposed to be him and his father, which was the idea of, Father's Day, and then I also like to, if you see that inside the heritage card, except passing it on, it's a tradition. Like most people, who get involved with baseball, what you learn from your father is passed on. It's a tradition passed on, and it's very important. And it's weird because you see like inner cities, their level of baseball compared to other places isn't as high. And it's like, is that because the father figures? I don't know. Could be. But it's something that's passed on. So that made sense of that. Like
Hey, I have kind of a aside random question. Will you scoot a tiny bit to your right?
Oh, here we go.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. You're just like half on the screen. Money. Yeah, there you go. Sorry to interrupt.
Over here, this is my Wycom, so I'm usually over here, and this is like side. So
no worries. I mean that's dope. I think the Father's Day card was awesome. I ordered one of those too. It's gorgeous, man. And still, man, I just can't get over like the packaging and the experience. And I mean, the Big Mac is insane. This is insane. It's just that attention to detail is cool. I think that like that's something that I would love to step up. I did autos really early, and I splatter painted on the Project 2020 boxes, which I think that people appreciate. But like, I mean, before Project 2020, I didn't even have certificates of authenticity with my works. I just sold my paintings as is. But now for me, like even just adding even the box and then the COA was important. But now like I'm seeing what some of the other artists are doing. Your presentation is amazing. King Saladine's done some really cool stuff with his JP the Money Bear cards. JK5 had a box, which I know people thought was going to be wood and it was cardboard, but I think it looks amazing. So I feel like now I'm like, I got to step my game up in terms of the presentation and that experience.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I have control over. Like, I don't know what the market is, so for me, Big Mac always made sense of like that. And then everyone else was like, well, what would make me, because not for nothing, like even on a lifestyle standpoint, right? Travis Scott just did a McDonald's collaboration. Ben and Jerry's just did a sneaker collaboration. And they're making these fucking whack brands look cool. They're giving them authenticity. Like, I don't know what their deal is, but you're giving them a pat on the back. Nobody's ever going to want to wear McDonald's on them. No one's ever going to wear Ben and Jerry. Like, so I know the value in that, like of just, but we're also dealing with some cool people, right? Like, so why are they able to do that with those bigger brands? And, and then also, why do I always need to wait to get the go from someone, this is
your wait for permission.
This is your opportunity to make something, I can't really go crazy on the, on the prints and the logos, so you know, I mean, the McDonald's box is oh, should I say? Yeah, because it looks like a McDonald's. It looks like a oh, see, I'm
Yeah.
Here you go. It looks like a McDonald's logo, but it's really the Collectors Club. Hold on, see how backward? Oh, here it is.
Oh yeah, yeah. Collectors Club, nice.
It's not a McDonald's logo. It's Collectors Club.
Right.
So I'm always trying, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. You see it, man. It's amazing.
But yeah, I'm just trying to have, and that's what I had the most fun, you know, with is that, and then you know, we'll see how. I think I also want to do something with it for the election that's coming.
Yeah.
Like a fucking president that's going to be, and also have a little fun with it too. So also, I like to push a little bit of boundaries. So I don't know how, you know, when I'm gonna get the call, but like, Drew, you gotta chill out. You know, but,
yeah. No, I mean, I think it's great when artists use their platform to make statements about stuff like that. I've kind of, for the most part, stayed out of stuff, you know, religion and politics because.
Oh, no, yeah, I don't do. Yeah, I don't really do that. Like, I'm not making a stance. You know, right. But let's have a little fun. You know, like you know, and I think
man,
my idea for that is fun. So I think
that's awesome.
We'll see what kind of happens.
Yeah. I think it's awesome, man. It's so cool to see all the artists pushing their own boundaries, pushing all the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Tops in general has been like really cool, letting everything kind of let us do our thing.
True. Mm-hmm.
You know, they made me change one thing on one card.
Yeah.
But that's it. Out of all
for the Don one, I had Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, and everyone in the back of him. Like you know, like standing, that got taken away. But it was like done in typical like that's how.
Yeah, kind of the mafia.
You know, I had the cat in there. Had to take out the cat. They had a lot of little things that I had to take, you know, out of. But it was up to me, even with that. Like I probably would have, you know, I would have probably rolled that out with straight, like you know, you're buying a DVD box set, and I would have probably done something, you know, like that. But I was like, you know, I know they're very big on not taking the picture stuff that we did, and like, you know, kind of you know, I like those, you know, and also that's what it is also about having fun. That's why I like your fanny pack, right?
Yeah.
And then you put it on.
Yeah. No, it was a blast, and they did really well, and it's just great. The part about like the flippers being upset that they couldn't like resell their fanny pack immediately for twice the price was kind of silly to me, but you know, I got to respect that part of the hobby as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious on these, and you know, I'd love to also maybe talk to you about it off of a live stream. But like, is the turnaround, like you're getting these made somewhere, obviously? Does it take a long time to get them, or does the turnaround time kind of fat? Like,
it's not. I'm a control freak.
Yeah.
I'm used to getting everything locally. I know people who do things, and the person I was working with, they didn't do it here, you know. So the production is amazing, you know. But no, the turnaround is not where I want it to kind of be, and you know, nothing I could do.
Yeah. So that's kind of one of my thoughts. I'm like, oh man, you know, it's September. We only have till December, so
I mean, again, you know, not to say anything, but you can look online. There's car, you know, at first, before I even see the Tops, I thought it was like, I didn't know, I thought it was a baseball card.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, the fuck, man, this fucking 24 point, 16 point. We go over here and, you know, and then, you know, I seen what they did, and you gotta, if they did that, then, you know, we have to up this quality, and then there's only certain people that could kind of do this, and then that's when, you know, but you know, at least I got the boxes now done, so then the other stuff now we kind of come on, but it's not 100% where, you know, because, you know, and that's the reason why I waited to drop my next stuff, because you know, I don't want to sell something else before other people get, you know, the second and third ones, and I just, you know, I got to learn to just, there's nothing I really could do, so I'm just kind of waiting on those things to be made right. But you know, you have to understand it. You know, it's a timely issue too, of just you know, as you know, how much time you spend mailing things out.
Dude, so much.
I mean, you know, mailing, packaging, going to concept. You know, like I mean, you know, going in and you know, I said like nothing, like oh, it's nothing. I've been painting these balls. Like so, you know, you could be painting 200 balls.
Yeah.
And then the way I'm doing it also is not like, you know,
balls are all, I painted a couple balls and like it just takes a while because you got to paint it, let it dry, roll it.
Anything I paint, I never want to just paint, because my whole idea of painting things is like, oh, they're just painted balls. I like people to be like, what? Like, I like it to look through a fucking torn life that they're trying to look as pretty as possible. Like, I like my art to be like a guy who's been fucking through fucking hell and back, but he has to put a tuxedo on, clean it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I love it. I think that your work is a really good blend of like grittiness and luxury, basically. Like, I mean, I think that like, obviously, like a lot of your stuff, it has so much texture, it has so much depth. Like you could tell it's been around the block. Like these balls look beat. I mean, but at the same time, it looks like a really high-end product.
Yeah, that's why I hope people understood that too. Like to even make it look beat is actually even a process. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know? That's what it is. Like, you know, even the people you get along with. My first show was called Used and Abused, and that's what I like. It's like people who from the outside, you know, they look a certain way, but they've been through things, used and abused. You know, you keep going. You know, it's it may look like, you know, this, but there's layers, there's depth, there's a story kind of behind it, and that's what, you know, that's the mantra I kind of take into my art, about peeling all those layers back and finding more about, you know, the story, you know, and it's also, you know, I got, you know, something too that I want to like show people also the visual journey I go through, because each one of these cards took me to a certain place. Like I did like research upon research, like I watch every, you know, whatever is on YouTube while I'm doing it. And like even Bob Gibson, like, do you understand the adversity this man went through? You know, like going in and you know, you're being forced to sleep at another hotel. Like that's nuts. You know, that you don't really think about that, you know, now, you know, and you know, but those signs of the times, Clemente, every single time he, you know, put something out that, you know, that the paper will mock him because of his accent, you know, and then his teammates thought he was crazy because when he went somewhere, he just wanted to hang out with the people of that neighborhood. Like, you don't want to, you know, it's you know, each person that, you know, that's what I did. Like, you know, I went through, you know, and some stuff was, you know, like, you know, Nolan Ryan, 69 Mets, you know, for, you know, being from New York, it's like, you know, see, you know, the World Fair of 69, Miracle, and then brings you to this whole world of that year and time, you know? So that's what I want to do, try to bring that out, you know, and kind of show people, like, it's not just this card, but it's the visual journey through it, you know? That was fun too.
Dude, honestly, I hope that someday I can see some of the big scale stuff of the cards that you've done, because I would love to just like get lost in like that Mark McGwire card or any of that.
You know, so when I knew that it was getting done like this, then I have like one piece here and one piece there. So instead of like what you do of like, which I would have done if it wasn't for getting my process like stepped on, you know, was you know, because once I put in the computer, then it was like, okay, well, I could print and paint this, then I'm just gonna take this picture and then, you know, bring it in here, you know. So I have all these random elements, you know, but when the time comes, like if you know, I could put everything together, you know, to you know, to make it. But yeah, like your process, like, you know, you go in and, you know, one layer, two layer, you know, like, you know exactly what you're doing to like kind of have that finalized one. That would have been cool, and that if I was able to do that. But once it got, you know, moved around, I had to.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I honestly, I would love to be better at digital. I'm okay, competent with Photoshop, just in terms of like color correcting, like fixing something to be like print ready, but like I try to design stuff on Photoshop.
Yeah, I mean, I could, you know, I mean, I could do it all, you know, but I do feel that, you know, I don't really like the doing something by hand is just a certain. Even I don't like to paint with oil, actually, because I hate the mess it makes. There is just a romance when you're painting with oil. You know?
I'd never tried oils.
I mean, it's if you're blending, like you don't blend, right? Like, you know, like, so your stuff will be, you know, because you want it to dry quick, next layer, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, this shit didn't dry yet, you know? So, and then
I'm super impatient too. Like, I don't think.
Me too.
Yeah, I'd have a tough time with oils for that reason.
No matter what, though, anything you do kind of by hand, it just has a different has a different feeling to it, and that's also, that's it's funny because in this day and age, everyone's like towards, whatever you do, whatever it is, it's like quicker, faster, cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what we're doing is like, and it's not for everybody.
I love that you're going the opposite direction. You're doing all the fine details, the extra time, the extra cost.
Even that, like do I like
experience
them more because you hand stencil them, or would I like them less if it was good? Like I don't know. I don't know why. Like, did you ever see Jiro Sushi?
Yeah.
But like when you see somebody so rigorous about their process,
yeah,
there's something great about that, right? Like I do like you do this by hand. It makes you want to like it, almost more.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, then you have to ask yourself, like, is that what makes and that's what I'm trying to do now. Is like I mean, I'm looking at time now. I gotta get out of here. So
yeah, no, we're good, bro. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Blast, man. And anytime, I'm not far. I'm in Long Island City. You're always welcome here if you ever want to kick it. Chat on Twitter online.
I'll take you to a few friends of mine that have a couple restaurants over there. Blend on the Water. Have you been there?
I've been to a place called Blend, but it's on Vernon.
Oh, Vernon. So that's the original.
Okay.
I designed that place.
Wow, it's amazing.
If you see the painting in there, or Blend on the Water. That's my friend's. So that's the second. That's his restaurant. I have a bunch of places. One day we'll
I go to Blend almost every week.
Yeah,
I love that place.
Good food.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, dude. Well, dude, you kicked ass. I love, if anybody hasn't gotten the Gibson, pick it up. It's gorgeous.
Yes.
It's on Tops right now until tomorrow at 1 p.m. So make sure to get it.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure. So everyone logged on. I wasn't sure who I was. Looked like I was talking to you the whole time, so I wasn't sure. I didn't see any of the participation.
Yeah. So I mean, there were a bunch of. I mean, there's tons of people on putting comments. If you watch the replay on YouTube, you'll be able to see all the comments. I don't know why it wouldn't pop up on.
You're doing an awesome job, man. I keep telling myself I got to do that stuff, but I'm like, it's weird. It's like even when I was in the baseball today, I said to myself, "You should time lapse this," and then I was like, "Yeah, I should." And
then you did, yeah.
And then I just did it, and it would have made a cool time lapse, because I guess my hours of studying science, and looking at, but I don't know. It's kind of like, but I think when you do it a lot, like even not like, when you do even the FaceTime a lot, I think you just get used to it, and then it just becomes second nature. Well, me is very hello, it's very it's
it's just it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Anyone can teach themselves. But
so you don't mind painting with somebody overlooking your shoulder?
Not really. I enjoy it. I mean, there's definitely times where, like I did a Honus Wagner portrait where I painted it live here, for these people, and it was cool, but it wasn't where I wanted it to go. And so after I turned the stream off, I kept working on it till 5 a.m, and I loved what I did. I really got into it and really took a lot of chances and experimented versus when someone's watching me, I'm kind of just doing what I already know.
That's what I mean. Especially doing installations and murals stuff it's it's when somebody's kind of watching, and then it's it becomes
but you know what I did do is I still filmed it. I just wasn't live streaming.
Yeah.
So I have the footage of it, which someday I'll do something.
How long does your stencils take to cut out?
Usually an hour or two per layer.
Do you still like it? Is it part of your process? You like it?
Yeah, it's fun. I think to me that's the most creative part of my process is and even if you look at my Doc Gooden, which is out right now, I actually, and it's rare that I do it, but I cut that stencil 3 different times because every time I cut a stencil, it's different. Yeah. And I cut it once, I cut it again trying to simplify it, but I kind of oversimplified it, and then I cut it a 3rd time trying to split the difference, and that's the one that ended up going live.
And I can talk to you all day. My wife's gonna kill me.
Yeah, get out of here, man.
Let me say that one question. So when you get a Dwight Gooden, right? So you get the picture. Mm-hmm. Now, do you kind of put it down with maybe do the outlines of it, like a line drawing layer 1, 2, 3, or what's your process?
No, so I print out the photograph. So I'm painting all my cards 18 by 24.
Yeah.
I print out the full size. I'll size it in Photoshop. So like on someone like the Mark McGuire, like I zoomed in quite a bit. Yeah. But like I'll just size it how I want it, and then I just print out the actual just photograph in black and white, and I'm just taking a knife. Like I'm not sketching it or drawing the lines before, and then really it's like the magic is looking at all the shades of gray and deciding what's going to be black and what's going to be white.
So your stencil's on regular paper?
Yeah. And then I put I use this mesh. It's called Fiba tape. It's from Home Depot. It's actually for patching drywall. And so after I cut the stencil, I put the mesh on top and it's sticky, and then I pull it up, and then it gives it this like grid.
This is to the world. These are the gems. And
yeah.
Those things that like I gotta go, but then you ask that one question, and then I'm not gonna take what you said lightly. I'm like, what is this? I gotta. So what is it? It's called
Fiba tape, and it's like this construction mesh that's made for like patching large holes of drywall. So it's like this plastic or fiberglass like woven mesh that's like a grid, and I stick it on the paper because it's sticky on one side, and then I peel everything up together. And so like if you look really close at my stencils, they all have like little square, like almost like pixels, like dots, and that's because of the mesh, which I think kind of almost makes it look digital, which is fun because it's like analog actual paint, but it looks like pixels. Yeah, just a fun thing, man. I picked up along the way through another graffiti artist that I met, and she taught me the technique, and then I've taken like little bits throughout the years of like how people make their stencils or how people do certain things, and I'll just borrow little pieces and put it all together kind of into my own process.
I got because I get like regular paper, and then I put the paper on Bristol, and then I read it's like twice that I'm doing it rather than the one. And then sometimes though with the the paint still doesn't seep in compared to the because it looked like you had a vinyl plastic, which the paint is really works really well with that compared to it winds up being one and done. So
yeah, man.
So let me get out of here. Great.
Yeah, man. Have a good night. Have fun with the wife and kid.
Yeah, and hit me up whenever. All right.
I will, man. I'm gonna shoot you a DM on Instagram. I'll send you my cell phone number. I don't think I sent you that yet.
Okay, perfect. All right, my man. Have a good night. All right.
All right. Yeah, have a good one, man. Take it easy. All right, guys, that was super fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's a blast. Andrew's work's super dope. Been wanting to get him on the stream for quite some time, so super excited that that all worked out. Tomorrow we have another great guest. Doc Gooden is going to be a guest right here with us talking about the card that I made with him on it. So that's going to be another good one. I don't actually know who I'm interviewing on Friday because Friday is always an artist interview. You guys are lucky you're getting 3 interviews this week, but that's cool because those are some of the most fun things. Also, just list in the other room, the color runs for the Choose Your Own Willies. I need to announce, again, that's in the other room, but they're really low, but that's good. So I think it was like yellow. There was 2 yellows. There was actually 0 pink. 0. Pinks are not even getting made. The more popular ones, I think there was like 5 dark greens, 7 blues. I forget if it's light or dark. Brown is like 6 or something. So like they're all, I think almost every single one is below 10. Don't hold me to that because there might be one over 10. Anyways, so you guys are going to get some super sick numbers. I mean, someone's going to get a 1 of 2 and 2 of 2 yellow. It's going to be awesome. So everyone is going to get great numbers. And we're going to do it again with the next card or cards. I'm not sure if I'm going to still do 11 colors or not. I mean, no one chose pink. Maybe I should retire pink. Or maybe no one chose pink because they didn't think it looked good. I even warned you guys. I told you on the stream, I said, pink's hard to see, but it's going to look tight. Trust me, I know what the pen looks like on top of orange. Nobody listened, but it's whatever. I got to tell you guys, the hardest part about that was knowing how good the edition numbers were going to be and not telling everyone the edition numbers are going to be really good, so you should buy some. Because if I did that, then it would be basically tampering. Anyways, I will publish those numbers on my website. Either it's midnight, so I'm probably going to go to bed and do it in the morning, but I will publish them all. They're going to be on both Blake.art and Pro Athlete Portraits. Tomorrow, we are going to release, F. and I are going to release our Babe print, which is the second collaboration we did the same night as we did Blob Ruth. We did the one with Babe. So it was my Babe Ruth stencil, and then he drew the face, and it says Babe underneath. It's a yellow with black on top. So that'll be a nice, pairing with the other Babe Ruth print. It's going to be priced exactly the same. That's going to be available on my end only at Blake.art, because we want to start driving more traffic to that site, and eventually we're migrating everything there. So keep an eye out for that. F. and I are going to launch that tomorrow. It's going to be the same thing as last time. 25 dual auto prints on paper. Those will be $350 each. And then we'll have print on demand prints on canvas. Large ones 18 by 24 for $150. Small ones 9 by 12 for $60. So, and free shipping. So very affordable. And yeah, stay tuned for that. Super hyped for Doc tomorrow night. That will be great. And if you haven't gotten my Doc card, definitely check that out. If you're into Doc and the Mets, I think it's a cool card, but to each their own. Anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much. Trying to think if I have any other big news this week. I do have, I don't know if they're going to come back to me this week or not, maybe next week, but I have some cards that I got autographed by Mark McGuire, my P2020 cards. I think we did 3 colors, yellow, green, maybe 4 colors. I don't know. We did several colors, very small editions. So there's like 3 yellow ones, 4 green ones, 5 orange ones. And I'm going to do dual autos on those. So those will come available at some point. I'll give you guys a heads up beforehand, but basically just trying to give you guys like a honest picture of everything that's coming out. I don't want you to like go buy an F. print if you're like, oh, I should have saved my money for the Mark McGuire thing or whatever. So that's kind of where we're at. Those are the biggest things that are coming up. We also have the autos for Ichiro, Ted Williams, Ken Griffey Jr., all coming up in the pipeline. As long as Topps keeps the chipping going fast, those are going to drop pretty quickly. So I think with the Ichiro, we'll do the choose your own color again. I hope that people see the print run, like the runs that I just told you guys about, and get excited and get them. But yeah, the Willies are going to look dope. I'm going to sign all those colored ones tomorrow, and then I'll start shipping those out on Thursday. Yeah, what's it? John, the Doc interview will be over just like this, like over a Zoom type call. And yes, if you buy your good in, you can also win a Blake Ben Baller collab dual autographed card. All you got to do is just buy my card. As many as you want, as many as you buy is how many entries you get. No purchase necessary. You can also get an entry for free. You just got to fill out the form at proathleteportraits.com/baller, which Tess just put in the comments. Thanks, Tess. You don't have to screenshot the actual receipt or forward the actual receipt. You just have to fill out the form. When you win, you're going to have to show the receipt. So don't fill out the form unless you've actually bought the card, basically. All right. That is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had a blast with Andrew. I think he did too, and hopefully that will be the first time of many that we chat. All right. Stay safe, guys. Stay